Ever since the October 7th Hamas assault on Israel, the Middle East has been in turmoil. Two recent assassinations carried out by Israel in Beirut and Tehran have expanded the conflict to include Hezbollah and Iran itself. Will these escalations culminate in an all-out war? Joining me now with analysis, Newsmax contributor, author of Iran, an Imperialist Republic and U.S. Policy, Dr. Walid Phares. Doctor, thank you for being with us. We saw these targeted strikes by Israel in Lebanon and Iran following the October 7th attack. This has really taken things to a new level. What do you see happening next? And is an expansion of Israel's war inevitable?
Yes, it is already a war, a global war in the region, which was started actually by Hamas, being ordered by the Islamic regime in Tehran, being expanded into Syria and Iraq, where those militias are operating, being further expanded to Lebanon, which is controlled by Hezbollah, second front in importance after Gaza. And obviously, as we all learned over the past few months, that the Houthis in Yemen are part of it. So there is that war. What is happening now is in altitude. Most of this war is about basically Air Force, Israeli Air Force, and Israeli countermeasures against targets on the ground or rockets and missiles, including ballistics, hitting Israel. What has changed is now the Israelis are targeting leaders, so it's still in the air, high-level leaders, and that has created an era of indecision for the command in Tehran. They don't know really what to do because they don't have the skills or the technology of the Israelis to do eliminations inside Israel. But on the other hand, they know if they start their ballistic warfare, especially against civilians, the Israelis, Netanyahu told them, I'll destroy infrastructure.
He said he'd destroy their nuclear arsenal. You think that's a possibility?
Well, first of all, whatever is industrial, like the production, enrichment of uranium, yes, they can. What is about underground infrastructure for ramps, that is something we don't know about, but the Israelis, I am sure, in consultation with other allies, know how to do it. But I have another theory. I published an article yesterday, actually, in The Independent in Britain, in which I conclude that in addition to the weaponization, meaning they are buying missiles, the Islamic regime is buying missiles, we know that. By the way, Raymond, with the money that this administration has...
The $1 billion we've given them over the nuclear deal.
We are giving them open credit to buy, from the nuclear deal. You and I have discussed it for the last 10 years. But could happen, another scenario, very dangerous, I'm sure all intelligence services in the West are most likely aware of it. That's the Iran regime, Islamic regime, can buy tactical nukes. North Korea, Central Asia, etc. Now, when they buy them, smuggling them into Iran is very different from having big trucks or having big, order on airplanes. The Israelis will take care of that. And what the regime may do is to deploy them not just inside Iran and then put them on drones, but also to their allies. That's Hezbollah, Houthis, and others. I am pretty sure that the U.S. and Israel knows about that. That's very difficult to counter. But it's difficult also on the regime to use them because at this point in time, they're making money. They are extracting billion after billion from Washington, from Brussels. If they go the game of tactical nukes, we are on a different planet at this point.
Wow. But you do see this conflict expanding and Iran responding in some fashion here. It's not a matter of if, but when.
There is no if. The if is gone. They're going to do it. The difference is that what is it that they're going to do? Because they are chess players. The Israelis are chess players, both of them. So Tehran is thinking, if I hit across Israel and hit civilians, the Israelis are going to take out my nuclear system and maybe more. Israel has the ability, even without the help of neither the United States nor the Arabs, of hitting the headquarters of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. That's a different story. Because what could happen, Raymond, and let me break that news here on this show, if Israel decides to go after the actual militia that controls Iran, nobody guarantees the mullah, the ayatollahs, that there will be no revolution or at least uprising inside it.
So it's a dangerous move for them. It's a dangerous play either way. Look, this week, Iranian authorities, speaking of dangerous moves, waged a mass execution of at least 29 political prisoners on Wednesday. Walid, what was the purpose of this barbarous act, and who were these prisoners?
Wonderful question. The mainstream media is not even barely talking about it. I mean, we know that.
Yeah.
So I would reverse it for our audience. I'd say this. Initially, the Islamist regime, has ordered Hamas to attack Israel and perpetrate actually a mini genocide for the purpose of doing three things. Then the third one is what you're talking about. Number one, break any rapprochement between Israel and Saudi Arabia. We spoke of. Number two, force the United States to withdraw its bases from Syria, Iraq. But number three, the most dangerous, it is most likely that this action to bring all the world attention to Gaza and to Hezbollah is to crush the Iranian people, to crush the Iranian opposition. Remember, there was a mass revolution. It was solid. It could not be reversed. The women of Iran were the heroes of it, and the minorities, so on and so forth. So now that they have moved the scenery, the media scenery, to other places, they are butchering these opposition leaders. These are students, lawyers, others, and they are also among them hostages still in Iran. We talk about the hostages in Gaza. There are U.S. nationals, German nationals sitting in prisons in Iran being tortured. And the regime is requesting $1.5 billion for each one of these, hostages. It's crazy what's happening.
Wow. Well, how should the international community, how should the United States be responding to this?
Well, which United States? If it's the now Biden administration and trying to place now an extension to it through Kamala's administration.
Yeah.
I don't think they can do much because they are part of that transaction. They're the ones sending the billions. So what do you want us to tell them? Stop sending the billions, number one. And number two, arm Israel. Number three, engage with the Iranian opposition. I mean, a third grader could, but they would not do it. Too much interest.
You know, Walid, you said, and you repeated it just a moment ago, in October, you told me, of last year, the Iranian regime would use its war against Israel to wage war against its own people. So that is essentially what we're seeing here. It's the purging of any political opposition to quell any future uprising or revolution from within. Is that what you're saying?
You said it better than I do. So next time we're going to co-author a book. You're very good at it.
You don't want to do that.
No, I don't know. No, but you're absolutely right. That is the essence of the game. So, look, very simple. I'm advising from your show into those who needs to hear. For this administration, they won't hear me. The next administration, I'm telling them, what you do is to engage with the Iranian people from the inside. You don't need to send troops. You don't need to do anything. Just engage with the opposition. They will topple that regime. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are seeing jihadist violence not only in the Middle East, but in other parts of the world. For example, jihadists in Bangladesh helped stage a coup against the pro-Western government there. Walid, will this lead to further violence against the Hindu community in Bangladesh? And is ethnic cleansing imminent?
It's happening, yes. I mean, the first wave of ethnic cleansing is in forcing exodus, it's like what the German Nazis have done in the 30s, right? When they started, before the Holocaust, they started to break down, shops and then harass the Jewish community, and then they got to it. This goes back to the irresponsible withdrawal, the way the Biden administration withdrew from Afghanistan. We warned, you and I, we warned many times since that year, that if you transfer power to the Taliban, the top jihadists of the world, in Afghanistan, it will have ripple effects everywhere. And now we're seeing it in Bangladesh. Wow. I mean, those who were behind the real opposition to the secular president and her government are not the students. The students have been manipulated by many people, including the Muslim Brotherhood. I see the arms of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Walid, I want to get your take on what's happening in the United Kingdom. We have seen there over the last few days horrendous violence. Dozens of towns and cities violent protests have broken out in the wake of a deadly stabbing attack on a children's dance class in which 3 girls, ages 6 to 9, were killed. 5 of them are in critical condition. A 17-year-old Briton, son of Rwandan parents, was charged with the crimes that really sparked this supposed wave of anti-immigrant violence. Now there are accusations that far-right protesters and misinformation are fueling this violence. What do we know about the attacker and the possible motive?
Let me say it in a very quick way. No, no, no. This is not a simple social incident and then the right wing comes. The right wing is going to come in anyway. Once you have organized networks of jihadists, and those networks of jihadists start stirring trouble from Bangladesh all the way to Middle England, what you're going to have is what I would say, a natural, not good, but normal reaction by the extremes. Once you play the jihadists, those who are not happy with the immigration in general and don't understand how to distinguish immigration from the jihadists are going to go in and they're going to be accused of themselves triggering the whole issue. It had no problem before the Muslim Brotherhood moved in, before the jihadists moved in. I mean, we have to go back to immediately after 9/11. There were many, many attempts by the jihadists to destabilize Britain. It did not work. Now they have what they call consistent demography of jihadists, and they are using it, and they are adopting the narrative of the woke. See, now it's like the skin is woke, but inside it's basically jihadists. They are in control of the movement. And that's why they want to break down the national security of every liberal democracy, of every Western country if they can.
By shifting the demographics in these regions.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have an open immigration across the Mediterranean, and we are screaming, pay attention. I delivered a speech to the European Parliament 2015, telling them few years from now, it's not the actual demographics. If these people are coming just to work and be integrated, that's one thing. Second, they are illegal, another problem. The worst problem, they are penetrated by jihadists. All these landings on that island in Italy or in the Aegean Sea are organized by the jihadists.
And look, this week in Austria of all places, Taylor Swift had to cancel her planned concerts after the arrest of two young men who were plotting a terrorist attack. One has pledged allegiance to ISIS. This is just what you're talking about. And according to Fox, I quote, officials allege the two young men wanted to kill as many people as possible using knives or self-explosives outside the Ernst Happel Stadium, end quote. This is a global epidemic that we seem to have lost sight of, Walid. Are all of these conflicts globally related in some way?
Absolutely related, integrated, coordinating. I know people now, and maybe in ages in government, saying what is Phares telling us? What I told your agencies for 10 years. I even gave you slides. I actually projected where it's going to blow up, and it is. It's like a mathematical equation. You bring in jihadists, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to become social democrats or liberal democrats or Republicans or Christian Democrats. It is happening now. It's not that it may happen and grow. There are jihadists inside the continent of Europe. There are jihadists inside the United States. We full open of a border in the south. What are we talking about? It's not just Marxist and pro-Chinese. An army of jihadists is here. It's embedded itself now with all these protests. I'm not saying the protests are, but these are the covers for the jihadists to operate. I mean, expect more in America.
Wow. Walid Phares, we will leave it there and be in touch soon. Iran, an imperialist Republican U.S. policy, is available now in bookstores everywhere. Walid Phares, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Raymond.